Hello guys, today I'll be doing an overview of a brand new tool that I got from my shop for the flash memory department fleet. This unit is called PC3000 Flash, and this is all-in-one solution, software and hardware based, to work with problematic flash memory devices such as flash drives, memory cards, even some solid-state drives. So this is what the main box looks like when you get it. Opening it up, we're greeted with this pad with the USB key in it. This USB key has the software for installation. I'm going to set this aside, removing the pad. Then there's a quick user manual, quick start guide. Pretty much every AceLab tool that you get comes with brief instructions that explain how to set it up and how to begin working with the device. This one is actually pretty thick. It goes into quite a bit of detail explaining what different adapters can do and how to start working these cases. Very good for a starting guide. So this is the content of the box. For the main part, it's all for this unit right here. This is a PC3000 Flash version 4. So interface to connect to the NAND chip is right here. This is a USB port that will be connecting to your computer. Over here we have LGA 52 and 60 in a 14mm by 18mm package bodies. Sometimes if you get a smaller chip, it will just be a little bit more difficult to center it, because not only it's going to go up and down, it may also move side to side, so needles really have to hit pads. You see those dots on the white pad there? When the chip is pushed in, those dots come out just a tiny bit, and they make connection with corresponding pads. The next on the line, we have TLGA, but in 12 by 17 package body. So same adapter, just different dimension for the chip inside the frame, so it centers it better. Next on the line is a famous TSOP48. This is a pretty standard package body, still found on many devices, and it has 48 external headers that are going to be connected by clamping in the adapter like this. Next we have BGA100. This piece is not so common, but it's still out there, so if we have a quick connection adapter, I'd rather have it than not. Same goes for the TSOP56, also not a common and traditional package for the NAND chip, but they're still out there, and if you don't have an adapter like this, you will have fun time wiring it up directly to a wire adapter or alternative monolithic solution. One of the most common adapters to be used is BGA152. BGA152 and BGA132 share same pinout. The difference is, again, dimensions. So BGA152 socket can be used with BGA132 chips. It just needs a little bit of adjustment. Potentially there could be a bracket made to center the 132 perfectly, but it's not that difficult to line it up, because the only play is going to be up and down as opposed to side as well, so this will do just fine. Now next on the line is TSOP48W, and W stands for wide. Now essentially this is the same socket. The only difference is that the body, the packaging, had been cut a bit on the sides, because TSOP48 chips sometimes will have 48 headers, but the body is wider, so it wouldn't fit in a traditional TSOP48 socket. So the wide version was made specifically for that purpose. Very nice indeed, because in the past I had those chips and I had to literally just sit and wire them up because they do not fit in a traditional adapter. The next on the line is Flash PC3000 Multiboard. Multiboard is a quick interface connector. Kind of works as a middleman to connect this interface to a series of different boards that could be used, and they look like this. There are other versions also, modifications, including the custom solutions also, that could be used with this interface. The beauty about this is that those boards are relatively cheap. So this is what I'm going to be testing out as well in the future on monolithic cases. You guys will see how this works. So this type of adapter is very beneficial for chips that have damaged headers. For example, one of the cases that I worked in the past needed to be wired up entirely to an NAND flash adapter, but because there's a TSOP48 template already exists here, we could have just used the existing pads, line them up with corresponding pads on the NAND, and then headers that got damaged could be just jumped with a small jumper wire to the pad to make full contact. It's a very useful piece as well. So if the card still recognizes but it keeps dropping out, for example, and won't stay running long enough to transfer all of the data, this is a tool for the job. You could just slide it in there, and using the software and interface will talk to the card directly in a specific manner that will allow more control and won't drop out and provide an image of what's on there. Once the image is collected, the data could be pulled from an image. This is a very useful tool for those devices that are not dead yet, but they are on the way there, and traditional adapters through USB do not help. So that's pretty much all there is for the main box. All these goodies will definitely be a great addition to the data recovery fleet of tools that I use for flash memory recovery. So you guys will be seeing a lot of videos with this little beast. Inside here, for those of you who are familiar with the product, they will know what this is. But what we have here, guys, is a tool called Spiderboard. So what this tool does, it helps to connect monolithic devices to NAND protocol without the use of solder. You don't need to know how to solder. You just need a microscope to be able to connect those devices up. As you can see, every standoff has a number. Okay, now those numbers will have to be assigned inside of the software once this adapter is connected and selected for work. So in other words, you will be actually assigning the numbers for the contacts to the signals that they link up with. Let me show you how this works. As you can see, I already have one pin attached to it. Each one of these standoffs have a thread and a slot that goes right through the middle, and on top we have a screw that goes in. Now I'll just set this right there. Now this needle has a very, very fine tip, and it can be adjusted once it's in the slot. So the adjustments are made left, right, front and back. So you're just gonna, tape your monolithic device right in the center, in the bullseye there, and you're gonna start setting up these needles and have them push down on specific contacts that need to be linked up to. Over here we have two terminals for power and ground. Screw it down, and that will put tension on the needle. So later on you will adjust your needle to where it needs to point to and tighten the screw down to secure the needle in that position. Applied pressure will make contact with the corresponding pad on the monolithic device, and they will be sent to the interface for communication. So the kit comes with a bunch of needles that you will be using. Not all of them will have to be used. Different devices will use different amount of signals that need to be attached to communicate with the NAND protocol of that specific unit. And we have a small bag of hardware. So in the next few days I'll be studying this tool in depth, and hopefully we can get up to speed with this equipment. The interface, from what I can tell briefly, is fairly easy to use, especially if you already have past knowledge of how flash memory works. It shouldn't be too difficult to figure out things, how to use this tool. At least on first phases for simple devices, should be very straightforward process. There's tons of useful information on Ace Labs blog for PC3000 Flash. that I'll also be brushing up on. In the next few episodes, I wanted to showcase a few jobs using different adapters for different types of NAND chips, including a Spiderboard for a couple of monolithic devices that I got sitting on my desk right now that need to be done. Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer every one of you. If you are interested in this specific tool, I'll post a link to Ace Lab in the description so you can see for yourself if this is something for you.